Welcome everybody to another Voice of Nick show. We're doing more in GameMaker, which again, as a warning to everybody watching, I know next to nothing about this software. The previous video, we were literally watching tutorial videos on the stream. So, this is not exactly, don't treat this, if you're watching this later or something, like don't treat this as me teaching you how to use GameMaker, because I don't know how to use it either. On the previous episode, I was doing like an tutorial from the official GameMaker website on like how to make an asteroids type game, and now we have this, which is kind of like a game idea very simple game idea that I wanted to sort of mess around with based on that asteroids idea, where it looks similar to asteroids, but the idea is that it's not depicted yet, but you're basically running away from a black hole. So I'm holding the up key constantly, but as you can see, it's like you're fighting against the gravity of the black hole, and there's like debris that's kind of like zooming past you. And I guess the idea of the game would be to like dodge the debris, which would get consistently more voluminous. And I don't know, I guess there would be a high score based on how long you stay alive or something. Obviously really simple idea, so let's see what we get. As a fair warning, again, I don't know anything about GameMaker. I'm also not necessarily this is really just a show of me talking through what I'm doing and working, so I'm not really reading comments or chat or whatever. So enjoy the show, or if I don't know if enjoy is really the correct term, watch me fumble through it. And here we go. So what we currently have is, I'm trying to figure out a few things. So basically the ship is there. Maybe let's try and do, I would like to have the game not be 1920 by 1080. I think it's too big. So let's just get that out of the way, because it's probably going to break some stuff. So let's make it like 640 by 360. See, and all the assets are the same size, so I don't know how I feel about that. Let's go into the editor of this sprite. Is this the same as that? No. This is 64 by 60. So what if I just took the image and made it smaller? Can you do that? Scale in percent. How do I scale it? Oh, here we go. Well, if we did it in pixels, it's probably easier. Actually, percent. Okay. Let's say 25%. And that makes it 16 by 15 sized. It's pretty much the exact same thing. Probably need to change the collision mask, which has disappeared, it looks like. We're going to do the same thing where the collision mask is like a portion of the thing, and every one of these assets, I guess, will scale to be 25% of the original size. I set the room settings, or rather the way that these rocks spawn, they're spawning based on a percentage of the room width to like randomly generate them across the size of the room. So it should still work even though we're changing the values of how big they are and how big the room is. But we'll see if that breaks it. I always save a backup project as soon as before opening the project. So we're obviously also using all the Asteroid Games assets at the moment. Okay, yeah, this Rectangle's fine, I bet. Bullet is not even, I don't think we're even going to use the bullet. Let's see what we got. If we go in the room, I don't know whether this even needs to be in here at the start of the game, but let's just leave it there. Oh, okay, hold on. There's also a thing where, because the idea of the game is that you're running away from a black hole, so your ship is supposed to be kind of like fighting against the current all the time. But I don't want you to start and the ship is just going down. You know, I want there to be like a thing where you have to choose to like once you press the button, then the game starts. Because it's obviously like kind of disorienting otherwise. Let's see how this goes. Okay, it seems like the values have changed somehow. Okay. This is good. Whoa, the ship is a lot faster now. So there's some kind of hard-coded value that's changed. I kind of like the speed of the rocks. I think they're the same pretty much. The ship goes faster to the left and right, but it seems like it's still the same going up and down. So let's take a look at the players thing. And obviously, again, I don't really have like a ultimate objective of what we're trying to do even with the knowledge of learning GameMaker. I'm just interested in learning how to do some kind of coding, and making a, game seems like a practical way of learning that. Okay, so we have it where the ship will, basically the code of how this works is like it's constantly adding motion to force you downwards, but then every time you're holding the W key for going up, you're pushing it slightly. It's sending you 0.04 units of gravity downwards, but your ship is able to thrust 0.044 units of gravity upwards. So it's like you're really, really fighting against the tide. And the mechanic of the game, I guess, would be that you don't die when you get hit by the asteroids like you do here. You die when you get hit by the black hole, and your ship is invincible, but every time you get hit by an asteroid, it would push you down, so that if you're near the bottom and you get hit by an asteroid, you would die. And that would hopefully make for an interesting game mechanic. So we'll see how that goes. Now the going of the left and right, it's set to 0.08. It looks like, so let's set it to 0.04 and see what happens. And I think I don't understand really why this would be any different. Maybe it just feels different because it's a different size. Whoa, because it's a different sized screen. There would also be a mechanic, I think, where in addition to the asteroids falling, there would be like canisters of fuel that fall, and then you could use it to do this little like speed boost thing that you see me I don't know if you could even really visually tell, but sometimes I'm applying a thrust that will give it slightly more thrust upwards. Okay. Oh yeah, see, this is because you can hold space and it'll add 0.01 of thrust to the ship, but I want that to be limited time and based on how much is in a meter of thrust. So the big thing would be, what do we do next? So maybe the next thing to do would be we don't need it to be like a nice looking asset, but I think if we just created an object for the black hole, so it's there. Oops. And we could probably just make the sprite the same as the rock. And the collision mask would be Right, so actually we would need to make a new sprite, and we might as well just make a sprite. Let's see how this works. I've never done this. Can you do like a circular? What's that? Oh, cool. Okay, so if we did then oh, you can't. Okay. You have to do it like this. Ah. Okay, I don't like this tool. How about, it doesn't seem like there's that many options, but can we take this and like change the size? Can we erase with this brush? Okay, yeah. Now, how do I change? Control T? Nope, that's not. Color remove, fill, line, rectangle filled, ellipse filled. Oh, so this is the equivalent of pressing V in Photoshop. Paint selection, magic wand. Flip brush, mirror brush, pan image. Yeah, I don't know that I would really ever use this tool set that they have in this software, but okay, let's just get rid of the selection. We're really overcomplicating this. We're first of all, the sprite is going to be, what's the size of the game? I think it's 640. Yeah. So we could make the sprite 640, but I don't think that's really necessary. Oops. Wait. We don't want that. We want it to not be scaled. How do you not make it a square? Or can you? Oh, because this is for scaling. Okay, how do you not make it a square then? Edit image size. Oh, okay, it's set to scale. We want to set it to resize. And let's just zoom out one. This is really a waste of time to be doing this for as long as we're doing it. Good enough. Good enough. Okay. Now, let's also just keep making this smaller until it is the right size. So let's say height is, I don't know, 10. Good. And now we're going to go in the room and we're going to do O black hole and make it this. And I don't really know, because the collision mask of this is going to be messed up. We'll make it the bottom part so you can kind of touch the black hole. Like this. And it wouldn't really matter if you're below it, but we'll set it to be below it. So we're gonna put the black hole in, and I guess we can just stretch it to be like that. Eventually, I guess the idea would be that the black hole would probably get, like, raise up on the screen or something, and the ship, also the asteroids would get more you know, common, so it'd basically be impossible after a certain point. So maybe there would be a score system other than the time, or it like multiplies. Okay, so let's say if O player collides with black hole, set that for this, I guess. None of this matters. None of this matters. Ah. Oh wait, so okay, first problem is that I can't see the black hole. Why is that? I don't know. Should we make it bigger? That's strange. Why is it not in the room? Is it not like drawing itself or something? Visible. Set to visible. Does it have to be set to solid? No. It doesn't seem to be hmm. What if he said draw self? Not there. And there's no asteroids. Oh, nope, now they're showing up. Why are there two every time? Is this something to do with O game? These we haven't oh, you know what? We could actually set this thing up right now to do this. So game start equals false. Then let's just say that the first thing that happens is let's see. Press enter equals false. Then if the key pressed, or I guess you could do that in a step event. Pressed VK enter, then oh wait, what we're setting is press enter. And if you have pressed enter, why do we need to do two different things here? I had a plan for this at some point, and it was that it has something to do with drawing things on screen. Why? Well, first of all, you could say if not keyboard, how do you draw text onto a screen? This is like, I don't know at all how to do this. Draw text, color, or just draw text. XY string. How about screens, what is it, room height and width divided by 2. Yeah, so it's doing that, but it is not stopping the game from going. Okay. Because pretty much we want everything to be dependent on whether or not the game has started. So press enter is currently set to false. If it is not doing this, then this. Else, press enter equals true. And why do we need to... Why does there need to be 2 things happening? You know, I think this is too complicated. What if we just said game speed or whatever it is? Or room speed? Can you do this? Equals 0? Does that work? You might have to do it after the draw text. Oh, wait. Okay. Hold on, this is part of, because you can't do that in the draw thing, I don't think. If you have not pressed that, if you have not pressed, oh, wait. If nope. I have warned everyone that I do not know what I'm doing. It's certainly true. Okay, if room, no. Press enter equals false. Room speed equals 0. What happens if you do that? Nothing. Trying to set the room speed to a value of 0, it doesn't like that apparently. Game speed FPS equals 0. I don't know that this is a good solution to this, but yeah, it does not let us do that. Okay, well then we could do it the other way. Press enter equals false, else equals true. And if it does equal true, then it would pretty much just be that everything... Oh, wait a sec. These are not supposed to be in this event. What this should say is not this, but if press enter equals false. And then this should say If it's not pressed, then I don't even think we need to do this because the creation thing already says this, but else do everything else. And we would basically have to do that for everything, which this is sort of a stupid solution, but whatever works, I guess. We don't honestly know that this does work, first of all. But this is all really stupid that I'm doing it like this. But I just don't know any better. Draw GUI, we don't need. Oh, bullet. None of this would have any significance. O rock intersecting with O bullet. This was choosing how far away from the ship it should spawn, which is no longer relevant. But we'll keep this code just in case we needed it. Is that how you do that? Does not seem to update. I think I have this wrong. What happens if you make a new type of event? Description, insert description here. That seems to be correct. Oh, maybe it can't have a capital D in description. O player. If the rock hits O player, then destroy. So this is actually not correct. Okay. This is the same as this. Okay. This should all work then, I guess. Does not work. Not set before reading it. Press enter. Oh, that's because this is an O game. Now, black hole still does not appear at all. Oh, okay, well, let's get rid of this for a second. And this. Does this work now? Okay, it shows up. I'm realizing that setting this based on the room center, it's left aligned, so it doesn't really work, but whatever. So it seems like it sort of works, not really though. That is because O game. I guess press enter is our game start thing now. How do we remove the text now? Else draw. Draw flush. What does that do? Oh, it says it should not be used. I would think that only while the press enter is false, this text would be drawn, but it seems like you have to somehow get rid of the text once it is not wanted anymore. Oh, jeez. My scroll wheel is like really messed up on this mouse. Draw a self? What if you said don't draw a self? Doesn't like this. Oh, wait. Maybe? Draw a line 4. Yeah, it doesn't like that. You could probably see the logic of what I was trying to do, though. Okay, well, for this purposes of what we're doing here, it doesn't actually matter whether or not... Uh-oh. Wait, we don't want the draw event in there at all. We know that you have to press enter to start the game. Now, here's the thing is that it seems like by gating everything under this whatever this is, now it has slowed down the entire game somehow. I wonder why. Maybe there needs to be a level maybe it needs okay, what if we did this? How do you untab something? Can you shift tab? Oh, there you go. That's good. So we'll get rid of all of these. And what if we made a top level thing that don't need this? A top level thing that basically said if you press enter, then spawn the player, I guess, and all the stuff. So then you wouldn't need to actually gate every single thing behind whether or not enter is pressed because they wouldn't exist yet. Oh, Andrew's saying, have you tried using Chat GPT to help with the coding stuff? No, I've never tried it. It'll be interesting to try. Is it free or do you need a subscription to that? Oh, welcome Gen Gen, by the way, and Frostfairy. We are learning by failing. if keyboard check press VK enter, this is false. So this would then be in something else. So press enter equals false, press enter equals false. Now let's see if the game works as it used to. Oops, hold on, you don't need this or this. Whoa. Now, do the asteroids still spawn or no? They do, but there's still some kind of glitch where there's 2 of them spawning. So the idea would be that the black hole would be down at the bottom, which I still can't get to show up. Also, it doesn't look like the hitbox works for the smashing into the asteroids. Oh, you know what? Because we took that out. Okay. Rock multiplier. None of this stuff is actually needed right now, so let's get rid of those. Now, why does it spawn 2 instances? Oh, because it creates one here, and it also creates one in here, maybe? Let's see. No, it does not do that. Vertical speed is increased by the amount the rock falls. If y is greater than the room height. Yeah, so all that stuff should be correct. By Andrew says it's free and surprisingly very good at stuff like this. I use it for After Effects scripting. That's pretty interesting. I'll have to try it. I do want to like learn how the actual, oops, this is wrong. The actual process works though, as well. I wonder why this is adding 2 instances of the rocks. Did that start when I added this? Oh, is it because the black hole still has the code of the rocks in it? Yeah, it is. That's why, because we duplicated the rock instead of creating a new thing. Okay, so now if you get hit by the rocks, you die, which is not going to be the ultimate way that the game works. And I still want to figure out some kind of way that the rocks can continuously show up more often as the game goes on. So first, let's look at the black hole. There's nothing in the black hole, which is strange that it would. Let's just try making a new object. And we'll just set the sprite to be this, which is supposed to be called black hole. There's no properties on this thing at all, so it should work. It does not work. That is because I don't know. It's in the instances layer. What if we made the game spawn the black hole? So like when it creates instance create layer, and let's just say that it's at oh, we deleted that stuff about the draw function, or did we? No, yeah, we deleted it. So this would be basically room width -2 room height divided by 2. The layer ID is instances. Object is O black hole. Oops. Now this should just make the black hole when the game starts, but it crashed because there's a variable. Oh, black hole. It's considering this a variable? That's strange. Variable ogame.blackhole. In action number 1 of create event, which is on line 4, that's this thing. Oh, maybe I don't have enough parentheses. Hold on. Nope, it does have it. It even marks it as red, which is not the color of a variable. So why wouldn't it work? Maybe it has to be in this step. That's going to make like 10,000 of them if it works. Does not work. How is it possible that this would not be considered? Okay, let's try this. When the room creates, you will create an object of bullet. Does it not like my sprite for the black hole or something? It does, and it made a bullet and it shot out of the gun. So it's something wrong specifically with this. Okay. What if we called it like OBH? Like, is there a problem with the title somehow? Is not that. It considers it a variable, even though it's just like any other object. Okay, let's try making a sprite. I guess I'll follow. We're using like the assets that they give you in this tutorial, so let's just leave it the same style. Okay, that's going to be the look of the black hole. And then object O black hole. Oh wait, why do I have 2 of these? This you delete, and then this is the one that's 64 by, yeah. And we'll make this the same size as the other ones, which means we would divide it by 25. Oh, that doesn't work. So maybe that has something to do with it? You know what? Okay, hold on. I think I know why. We might, okay, where's this? It's set to middle center. Oh, that disproves my idea. Well, let's just keep going. Let's see what happens if we do this. Oops. Oops. No. Stop. What happens if we put this in the room? It doesn't even... Oh, I still left this thing in the game thing. It doesn't show up. How is it possible that this one thing does not have the ability to show up, but everything else does? Oh, you know what? It might not be set to... Nope, it's set to visible. That's very strange. See, the bullet showed up. I dragged it right into the room and it showed up. So what's different about the code of the bullet that is not applicable in... So one thing that's strange is... Oh no, it's not strange. What if we change the sprite to be a lot thicker? Nope. It's the exact same thing. How could it not be there? Okay, so the bullet is not set to... Let's close everything. I'm going to open this and this. Bullet. Does it have some kind of like other properties? Doesn't say uses physics, so the physics thing probably wouldn't apply. Collision, it wouldn't matter what the collision mask is. It's like illogical. What if I called it O bullet 2? Okay. What if I duplicated the object? This is really illogical to me, but if we just did this and added the black hole sprite and put that in the room? No. If we... How could this not work? SPR1. Does it not like the word black hole? No. Okay. What if we put the bullet 3 and we use the bullet sprite? No. Is there some list of like registered objects or something that you can't use anything other than? Well, the easiest thing to do would just be to take O bullet, delete all of its stuff. We don't use bullets in this game anymore. What if we took this, used this sprite? Does that work? It does not work. Okay. Oh, wait, because it's not in the room. What happens if we do this? Does not work. So it's something to do with assigning a different sprite to... It literally does work when we use the bullet sprite, does not work when we don't use the bullet sprite. Therefore, what if we took this out? Does it still work? We're just going to break down every single piece of it until it stops working. Okay, if this is working, then we can just do this. This is now the black hole. I don't really care about... Good enough. Now, this is a really stupid solution, but I can't figure out why it doesn't work otherwise. So this should be the thing. If the player touches this, okay. The same thing would happen for this. Okay. So there's currently not really a good way to like stop the thing from, well, it's very unfair right now because of the way that the gravity works. Okay. Kind of fun so far. There's something about the mechanics or like the way the movement works that doesn't do it exactly. But so the biggest problem right now is I can't figure out why I'm not allowed to make any new assets, which is very concerning. Like if I made this and I made this and I applied this to it and I put it in the room, it should show up, but it doesn't. It's on the instances layer. What if we made a new instances layer? It does not show up. I can't fathom how that makes sense. It's set to visible. I'm going to check every box. Then I'm going to put this in the room. Does not show up. Okay, that's a mystery to solve. Now we want to change the value of this. The origin point of the rock, I think, is in the center. So how many pixels tall is the rock? 40. So this would be 20 pixels or 22 pixels away that we want. Or it's like something like get object height or something. Sprite get height. SPR rock big. And now this value divided by 2 times -1, because it would have to be a negative number if it's above the height of the room. If we could stay alive long enough. Okay, let's see if this spawns. It did spawn. Okay, so that works. I don't get why it takes them so long to spawn at the beginning. Oh, you know what? We actually know the answer to that. It's because of this timer. The timer is set to 180, and then it sets to 60 after that. So I don't remember why I chose to do that, but if I say the timer is 0, it should spawn instantly at the start of the game. Yeah. That at least makes it easier to test. Now we also want it to be that the ship cannot rotate past like 90 or -90 degrees, or whatever you call this degrees, like past 0 or 180, because 0 is right and 180 is left. Because the point is that you can only go up and sideways. You don't want it to look like the ship is actually turning upside down but still going up. Okay. I think we should also make the game square. Let's start it where the player's in the center. We could probably do that easier if we just calculated it and didn't actually place the player in the scene. .360, and this would be 720 by 720. And now what does it look like? And it's spawning rocks based on a random value of the size of the room. So that will work. One of the few things that I had a code that actually scales to whatever we change the game to, so that's good. There is a nice sense of, like, you can't really get the feel when you're watching, but the idea is that the black hole is pulling the ship at almost the same speed that the ship's thrusters can go. So it's like you're really fighting to get away from the gravity of the black hole at the bottom. And that actually feels pretty good. I think there should be a bigger speed ramp to these asteroids that are like, the idea is that the game is actually in motion. I guess we would add like stars that are flying in the background or something, because you're actually running upwards away from a black hole that is constantly expanding. So the idea is that these asteroids, as they get closer to the black hole, would be like flying into it, and eventually they would like explode when they hit the black hole or something. Okay, it's kind of a cool game idea. I like the idea. And again, I don't really know what we're trying to do here, but we started all this by doing the like default GameMaker asteroids game tutorial, and now we're just trying to figure out how to make something else based on the limited amount of tools we've been given so far. Good. That's gonna do it for this one. I think I learned a lot. I would like to look up why it doesn't let me make any new objects. But other than that, we're moving along. Thanks for joining, ladies and gents, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.